ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम्। प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामभित्र्यवतु। गणेशाय नमः, सरस्वत्यै नमः, श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। निधनपतये नमः, निधनपतान्तिकाय नमः। ऊर्ध्वाय नमः, ऊर्ध्वलिङ्गाय नमः। हिरण्याय नमः, हिरण्यलिङ्गाय नमः। सुवर्णाय नमः, सुवर्णलिङ्गाय नमः। दिव्याय नमः, दिव्यलिङ्गाय नमः। भवाय नमः, भवलिङ्गाय नमः। शर्वाय नमः, शर्वलिङ्गाय नमः। शिवाय नमः, शिवलिङ्गाय नमः। ज्वलाय नमः, ज्वललिङ्गाय नमः। आत्माय नमः, आत्मलिङ्गाय नमः। परमाय नमः, परमलिङ्गाय नमः। एतत् सोमस्य सूर्यस्य सर्वलिङ्गग्रस्थापयति पाणिमन्त्रं पवित्रम्। सद्यो जातं प्रपद्यामि, सद्यो जाताय वै नमो नमः। भवे भवेनातिभवे भवस्व माम्, भवोद्भवाय नमः। वामदेवाय नमो, ज्येष्ठाय नमः, श्रेष्ठाय नमो। रुद्राय नमः, कालाय नमः। कलविकरणाय नमो, बलविकरणाय नमो। बलाय नमो, बलप्रमथनाय नमः। सर्वभूतदमनाय नमो, मनोन्मनाय नमः। अघोरेभ्यो खगोरेभ्यो घोरघोरतरेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यः सर्वशर्वेभ्यो नमस्ते। अस्तु रुद्ररूपेभ्यः। तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्रः प्रचोदयात्। ईशानः सर्वविद्यानामीश्वरः सर्वभूतानां ब्रह्माधिपतिर्ब्रह्मणोऽधिपतिर्ब्रह्मा शिवो मे अस्तु सदा शिवो। नमो हिरण्यबाहवे हिरण्यवर्णाय हिरण्यरूपाय हिरण्यपतये अम्बिकापतय उमापतये पशुपतये नमो नमः। ऋतगुं सत्यं परं ब्रह्म पुरुषं कृष्णपिङ्गलम् ऊर्ध्वरेतं विरूपाक्षं विश्वरूपाय वै नमो नमः। सर्वो वै रुद्रस्तस्मै रुद्राय नमो अस्तु। पुरुषो वै रुद्रः सन्महो नमो नमः। विश्वं भूतं भुवनं चित्रं बहुधा जातं जायमानं जयत्। सर्वो ह्येष रुद्रस्तस्मै रुद्राय नमो अस्तु। कद्रुद्राय प्रचेतसे मीढुष्टमाय तव्यसे। वोचेमशन्तमगुं हृदे सर्वो ह्येष रुद्रस्तस्मै रुद्राय नमो अस्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। योपां पुष्पं वेद पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् पशुमान् भवति। चन्द्रमा वा अपां पुष्पं पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् पशुमान् भवति। य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। अग्निर्वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। योऽग्निरायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। आपो वा अग्निरायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। वायुर्वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। यो वायोरायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। आपो वै वायोरायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। वसौ वै तपन्नपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। यो मुष्यतपत आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। आपो वा अमुष्यतपत आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। चन्द्रमा वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। यश्चन्द्रमस आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। आपो वै चन्द्रमस आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। नक्षत्राणि वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। यो नक्षत्राणामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। आपो वै नक्षत्राणामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। पर्जन्यो वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। यः पर्जन्यस्यायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। आपो वै पर्जन्यस्यायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। य एवं वेद योपामायतनं योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति संवत्सरो वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यः संवत्सरस्यायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै संवत्सरस्यायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योऽप्सुनावं प्रतिष्ठितां वेद प्रत्येव तिष्ठति राजाधिराजाय प्रसह्य साहिने नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे समे कामान् कामकामाय मह्यम् कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय। ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यव उतोत इषवे नमः। नमस्ते अस्तु धन्वने बाहुभ्यामुत ते नमः। यात इषुः शिवतमा शिवं बभूव ते धनुः। शिवा शरव्या यातवतया नो रुद्रमृडया। या ते रुद्रशिवा तनूरघोरा पापकाशिनी। तया नस्तनुवा शन्तमया गिरिशन्ताभिचाकशीः। यामि शृङ्गिरिशन्तहस्ते बिभर्ष्यस्तवे। शिवां गिरित्रतां कुरु माहि गुंसीः पुरुषं जगत्। शिवेन वचसा त्वा गिरिशाच्छावदामसि। यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगदयक्ष्मगुं सुमना असत्। अद्य वोचदधिवक्ता प्रथमो दैव्योऽभिषक्। अहीगुश्च सर्वा आञ्जम्भयन् सर्वा आश्च यातु धान्यः। असौ यस्ताम्रो अरुण उत बभ्रुः सुमङ्गलः। ये चेमागुं रुद्रा अभितो दिक्षु श्रिताः सहस्रशो वैशागुं हेर ईमहे। असौ यो वसर्पति नीलग्रीवो विलोहितः। उतैनं गोपा अदृशन्नदृशन्नुदहार्यः। उतैनं विश्वा भूतानि सदृष्टो मृडयातिनः। नमो अस्तु नीलग्रीवाय सहस्राक्षाय मीढुषे। अथो ये अस्य सत्त्वानो हन्तेभ्यो करन्नमः। प्रमुञ्च धन्वनस्त्वमुभयोराग्नियोर्जाम्। याश्च देहस्त इषवः पराता भगवो वपा। अवदत्यधनुस्त्वगुं सहस्राक्षशतेषु धे। निशीर्य शल्यानां मुखा शिवो नः सुमना भव। विज्यन्धनुः कपर्दिनो विशल्यो बाणवागुम् उत। अनेशन्नस्येषव आभुरस्य निषङ्गतिः। या ते हेतिर्मीढुष्टमहस्ये बभूव ते धनुः। तयास्मान् विश्वतस्त्वमयक्ष्मया परिभुज। नमस्ते अस्वायुधायानातकाय धृष्णवे। उभाभ्यां नाभ्यामुत ते नमो बाहुभ्यां तव धन्वने परिते धन्वनो हेतिरस्मान् वृणक्तु विश्वतः अथोय इषुधिस्तवारे अस्मन्निधेहितम् नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Om Shri Sai Ram. Welcome to another episode of our webinar. Shri Maunish Vyas got magically attracted to Vedas upon his very first darshan of Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba in 1983. Until then, he had no foundation of the Veda nor Sanskrit. However, after having the darshan of the Lord, he was strongly attracted to Vedic mantras. Shri Maunish Vyas started chanting the Vedas by merely listening to audio cassettes. By the divine grace, he's found his first Veda guru after a few years who taught him this knowledge. Shri Maunish has been teaching Vedic mantra chanting to aspiring students from different parts of the world since 2003. In May 2004, he started teaching Veda at the Sai Center in Navi Mumbai. It was only after this he met an excellent Veda guru who had studied both the Rig Veda and the Yajur Veda. This Veda guru took him all over India for participating in major yajnas where he interacted with other gurus of Veda in most of the 11 different Veda shakhas or branches. A few years ago, as he describes it, the Rudra, Namakam and Chamakam began flowering in him. During a period of 21 days, he wrote the inner meanings of each of the Rudra mantras. He published a book titled Rudra Tattva and offered it to Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, who blessed it on the 19th of July 2010. Bhagavan then asked Shri Maunish to publish this book in as many languages as he could. With these blessings of Bhagavan, so far, the Rudra Tattva book has been translated into French, Italian, and Odisha state languages. Shri Maunish Vyas conducted a weekend Veda workshop at the Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, Prashanti Nilayam campus in February 2012. This very same workshop was subsequently broadcasted over Radio Sai in 8 episodes. He was also a regular Veda guru for students at the Sai school from class 1 to class 12 at the Sri Sathya Sai Vidya Niketan in Gujarat from January 2013 up to April 2015. In December 2015, he was invited for a month-long tour to France, Switzerland, and Italy, where he taught Vedas, answered doubts of questioners, and led 4 big events of Ekadasha Rudra chanting, along with Abhisheka and Yajnas. He now teaches Vedas in Sai centers all over India and all over the world, wherever Sai organizations or Sai devotees invite him. So far, he has conducted Veda teaching at 7 states all over India. Today, we'll be very fortunate to have Sri Maunish Vyas pour his wisdom into the mysteries of the Medha Suktam, a hymn from the Mahanarayana Upanishad of the Yajur Veda, a highly powerful hymn that is known to bestow the devotee who recites it with intellection. Devotees who are listening, who have questions, may submit them via the chat box. In this section, I shall now hand over the session to Sri Maunish Vyas ji. Thank you and Jai Sai Ram.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Ganana Tva Ganapati Gum Havamahe Kavim Kavinamupamashravastamam Jyeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspate Anashrinvannutiभिस्सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्र्यवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्. Offering my loving pranams at the lotus feet of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, and offering my loving sairams to all of you who are tuned in and all of you who are interested in the learnings that Veda provides us. Sairam to all of you. The topic which I was given for today is Medha Suktam. Some of you might have heard my chanting in the beginning and thought that I have made a mistake while chanting Brahmanam Brahmanaspate. That was deliberate, it was not a mistake. It was to highlight a Sandhi rule. The Sandhi between Brahmanaspate and A makes the Pate into Pata, and the Ta becomes a lower note. Whereas I chanted a middle note. And the A becomes a lower note when you break up the Sandhi. Otherwise, the A is a middle note. So that is a Sandhi rule. Similarly, when you chant Jaishthan Chama Adhipatyan Chame, the Ma is actually a Me, which has become a Ma because of the following vowel. So whenever a Akshara sound followed by a vowel happens, the A becomes a. It happens in the entire Veda. That is a Sandhi rule. And the question about Sandhi rules arises because of a scripting error. The scripting error is in the Devanagari script a bindi or a dot in the script, and the same bindi or dot in the Roman script is converted into M sub dot. Actually, they have got some 7 sounds. So which are the sounds? The first one is Nga, as in Kaving Kavinam. Then the one is Nya, as in Tachanjora Bruni Mahe. And then we have Na, as in Mani. Then we have Na, as in Gananantva. And then we have Ma. Ma is known because everybody chants Ma erroneously. Then we have Nya and Gum and Guggu. Sarvalingam Sthapayati becomes Sarvalingam Sthapayati, and Gananantva Ganapatim Havamahe becomes Ganapati Gum Havamahe. These are Sandhi rules. And why are we following the Sandhi rules partially and not fully? Because we don't know them. And the original purpose of teaching Veda was by audio alone. So there was no question about scripting wrongly or scripting rightly. The scripting happened because people started forgetting the Vedas, and somebody about 1,000 years ago thought that he should start scripting the Vedas. And now we have the question of whether to follow Sandhi rules or not. If you are following the Guru's audio with care and correctitude, as mentioned by Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba in the Sathya Sai Vahini, then you will mimic his voice exactly and produce the exact notes and the tones which the teacher has taught. So then the question of observing Sandhi rules or not observing Sandhi rules does not simply arise. Anyway, let us come to the topic of Medha Suktam. You may ask any other rule regarding Sandhi in the question answer session, which will be following later. I'll just share my screen about the Medha. What is the Medha Shakti or the power of Medha in a human being? When the person has got a very high Medha level, it means his memory is very sharp and his recall is instant. So it's like in that case, we can say it's like a hard disk where even if somebody has taught you something 50 years ago, you can recall it in 10 seconds or maybe 1 second. That is a recall. And the other one is retention. So if somebody tells you a line, you remember it the very same instant. Some people have a photographic memory. So Medha is a photographic memory, come audiographic memory plugged in together. And it is extremely retentive and it is extremely recallable at the instant that the person wishes to. And now, what of the person who does not have a Medha? So this is a typical joke shown in movies that the person who has got an accident and he wakes up in a hospital room saying, "Who am I? Where am I? What is my name?" That means he has no memory at all. So it is the bundle of thoughts, which we call memories, whether sweet or bitter, which form our Medha Shakti. And in the ideal situation, this Medha Shakti should start at inception. The Rigvedana, which is a manual on Rigveda, advises all breastfeeding mothers that they should chant Medha Suktam and Medha Suktam on the left and right side, respectively, when suckling the baby. So the baby learns in the womb. If you know the famous Mahabharata story, that Abhimanyu learnt in the womb how to pierce the Chakravyuha in war. And then later on, Bhagwan Shri Krishna stopped Arjuna from describing the Chakravyuha. So that in the womb, Abhimanyu did not learn how to break out of it. And then that was the result of his death, because Bhagwan has already planned his death in a particular manner. So in the womb, we are supposed to teach our children the Medha Suktam and the Shraddha Suktam. Shraddha Suktam gives us rock solid confidence in oneself, which we need for leading life ordinarily or extraordinarily. And Medha Suktam gives us extreme graspability of inputs, audio and video, and extreme recall of memories and events. That is Medha Shakti. Now, what are we saying in the Medha Suktam? The first part of the Medha Suktam is by courtesy coming from the Taittiriya Upanishad. We start with Yes Chandasam Vrishabho Vishwarupaha. So there we are saying Chandasam Vrishabha. That means the stud bull in the Chandas. Chandas means the Vedas or the rhythms or the sounds, which are rhythmic in nature in the entire universe. So who is the stud bull among the Chandas? That stud bull is the Omkara. He is Vishwarupaha. He is all pervading. And we recall him at the very instant start of the Medha Suktam from the Taittiriya Upanishad. So after that, we have the subsequent statements which says that he is the ruling person from the Chandas, from the Vedas, and he dictates to us. He means Omkara. You can say it. So then the prayer comes, which is the actual prayer to Indra. Sa me Indraha, samam Indraha medhaya sprunotu. So, O Indra, retain and save Medha Shakti in me. That's a direct prayer which occurs in this particular group of mantras. And then we ask for our body to be divinized. That let the Amrutattva, Amrutasya Devadharano Bhuyasam, let the Amrutattva in my body be always be patent and not latent. It is latent in every being, including a rock. But in the human beings, it can become patent. Like you can become Satya Sai Baba if you wish to. So let this Amrutattva, the immortality in my body, become patent. And let it be visible to all, including me. Shariram me vicharshanam, make my shariram or my body extremely sprightly, extremely active. Jihva me madhumattama, may my tongue become the sweetest ever. Jihva means the tongue. Karna abhyam bhuri vishruvam, may I hear many, many Veda mantras with my ears. Then we have Brahmanaha koshosi medhaya pihitaha. So the Brahma Tattvam, which is the essential essence of the entire universe, and which is also outside the universe. That is the original tattva from which the universe and God appeared. So the Brahma tattva is covered or pihitaha by this intellect or Medha Shakti which all of us have, which is also called the mind. So the mind hides us from knowing our true self, and the same mind, if you pray to it properly, will also become silent or shanta and reveal your own self or true consciousness, the pure consciousness. That is the pihita or the covering aspect of Medha Shakti. It also covers us. So it is a double-edged sword. It gives us all the skills for living a good life. At the same time, it prevents us from knowing who am I. Then we have this line, Shrutam me gopaya. So whatever is the Shrutam or the heard, the Veda mantras, please respect them and retain them in me. Then the rest of the lines is Avahanti Vitanvana, Kurvana Chiramatmana, Vasagumsi Mamagavascha Annapanecha Sarvada, Tato me Shriyamavaha. That is not being chanted, but it is still important because Tato me Shriyamaha, Avaha means may I be bestowed with all types of Lakshmi or Shri. Then we have the actual Medha Suktam. Yes. So the very first line says, Medha Devi. Now this Medha has been personified as a Devi or a female which is divine with arms and legs and a face. We do this all the time because even Durga Devi, Durga is actually the Shakti or the power to do work and perform divine tasks or not divine tasks. And we have personified that same Shakti or power as a Durga Devi. And the power to speak, which is in everybody's tongue, is called Saraswati Devi. So we have a tendency to personify every power that we have so that it becomes convenient for us to look at that power and worship the power and gain something from that power. So, O Medha Devi, Naha Jushamana means when you are pleased with us. Agat means upon coming. What will you do? That's in the next line. So Vishwachi is shining all over. Bhadra is auspicious. Sumanasya Mana means favorably disposed towards all of us. Tvaya Jushta means upon you being pleased with us. Duruktan Nudamana, the person who's prattling with useless words or merely making all sorts of noises, that person becomes a great speaker in a parliament. Bruhad Vadema means a very big speaker. Vidathe means in parliament. Suviraha. Suvira means lots of positive qualities, Vira qualities. So this is the first thing, that Medha Devi, be pleased with us, confer upon the quality by which my useless talk becomes a very, very learned talk, fit for a parliament. Then we have, if you are pleased, Tvaya Jushta, Rishir Bhavati, the person can become a Rishi. Tvaya Jushta, Brahma Agata, the Brahma Tattvam can become revealed if you are favorable. And then Tvaya Jushta, Shrihi. Shrihi means Lakshmi or wealth. And then Tvaya Jushta, Chitram Vindate. Chitram means the picture, but in this particular case, we have the big picture. That means I have the big picture of the entire universe, the whole astronomy class, as to how many universes are there, how many planets are there, how many suns are there, how many stars are there. That is a big picture. So if you are pleased with me, then I will have the big picture in my mind and also all the treasures of knowledge evident in me. Dravinam means treasure, treasure of material kind and treasure of a spiritual kind. So Medha can confer us material treasures and spiritual treasures. And here we are addressing Medha as O Medhe, personifying her as a mother and as a Shakti. And then we are addressing Indra. Indra is the controller of all the Indriyas, which means the Karmendriyas and the Jnanendriyas, the senses of perception and the senses of action. So, hey Indra, me Medhan Dadatu, give me Medha Shakti. Hey Devi Saraswati, me Medham Dadatu, give me Medha Shakti, O Saraswati Devi. And hey Ashwino brothers, give me Medha Shakti, because the Ashwini Kumaras are the repositories of medicine knowledge, healing knowledge, and they are the healers. So all of you who are practicing healing or our doctors can address the Ashwini Kumaras and ask them for Medha Shakti to heal your patients better. So, hey Ashwini Kumaras, Medham me dadatu and Pushkaras Raja. So, just like the lotus, let us retain this Medha Shakti and get this evident intelligence and use it in positive ways. Then Apsarasu Chay Medha, Gandharveshu Jan Manaha. So may my Medha Shakti be like the Apsaras. The Apsaras are celestial divine dancers who can memorize all songs in a single sitting. And the Gandharvas are those singers, the divine singers, who can sing any song in any raga at any time. So let my Medha Shakti be infused by this Apsara-like memory and the Gandharva-like singing. So I can become the perfect singer and the perfect dancer. Apsarasu Chaya Medha Gandharveshu Chayan Manaha. That one. Yes.
Okay,
So
thank
let
you.
me have the Medha Shakti that the Apsaras possess, and let me have the singing capability that the Gandharvas possess. So my Medha Shakti is crowned by excellent dancing and excellent singing. All of us want to, dance and sing before Swami. That's our heart. So, and we cannot present Swami with something like substandard. We have to be the best dancer and the best singer in the whole group. So let me be the best dancer and the best singer, and let the Apsaras and the Gandharvas bestow their Medha Shakti upon me, upon my mind. And again, Saraswati, we are addressing Devi Medha Saraswati. Mam Medha Surabhir Juhtam Swaha. So let the fragrance of your Medha Shakti, of your power of speech, infuse my being, and let me be fragrant with my speech and with my memory. So these are the prayers we are addressing to Saraswati, Apsaras, and the Gandharvas. They are all divine beings. And then again, we are saying, Mam Medha Hiranyavarna Jagati Jagamya. So, hey, fragrant Saraswati, bestow me upon myself, my Medha Shakti, he who are Hiranyavarna, golden in color or shining like gold, Jagati Jagamya, and world pervasive, Urjaswati, full of energy giving, Payasa, full of nourishing, Pinvamana, fit to drink or fit to absorb, Mam Medha Supratika Juhantam. In me, may I become the Supratika or the symbol of great Medha Shakti or great memory power and the great Veda retention power, and similarly help others in the process of developing their memories. And this is the most important prayer. Mai Medham, Mai Prajam. Mai means in me. Mai Prajam means in my Praja or in my children, progeny. The word Praja and progeny are very close. So maybe the word progeny in English could have arisen from the word Praja in Sanskrit. So in me and in my Praja, infuse me with Medha Shakti. Hey Agni, infuse me with the passion that you possess. Then hey Indra, infuse me with the control of senses and my exercise over senses that you possess. Hey Surya, infuse me with the tejas or the light, shining light that you possess. So we are addressing Agni, Indra, and Surya to give their respective shining or their respective qualities to us, to me and my children. Mai Medham, Mai Prajam. In me and in my children, my progeny. Praja is progeny. Then we have a courtesy chant which is called Hamsa Hamsaya Vidmahe Paramahamsaya Dhimahi Tanno Hamsah Prachodayat. And the word Hamsaha is the reverse of the teaching Soham. So when we take in the breath, the sound is heard as So. And when we put out the breath, the sound is heard as Hum. This is on Swami's speech in one of the Sathya speaks. So if we reverse the word Soham, then we have Hum Saha. Again, So becomes Saha becomes So because of Sandhi rules. So the Sandhi rules come everywhere in Sanskritam. So, and the Hamsa is simply another word for the breath. It also means in Sanskrit the white swan. And why is the swan constantly remembered? Because it can drink a mixture of milk and water, and there is an ability to separate the milk and drink only the milk, and it rejects the water. So if a person is like a hamsa, then it can absorb the inputs from the world and leave the negative input outside and imbibe the positive input. That is a Paramahamsa. A person like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa or a person like Ramana Maharshi, they have attained the highest degree that a human can attain, which is Brahma Tattvam or Brahma Jnana. And they have learned how to take all the inputs from all over the universe and take in only what is good, what is positive, and leave what is negative. That is the separation of milk and water. Milk is what is to be taken, water is what is to be left out. We are all presented with a situation where all the inputs are given by the universe. We must learn with Swami's grace what to take in. We must learn what to leave out. And there the Rudram helps us. Rudram, when we chant Namo Namo, it means not mine, not mine. That is all to be rejected, not to be taken in. And then when we chant Chame, 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 that means this is to be taken, this is to be taken, this is to be taken, this is for me. So Rudram teaches us 24/7 what to reject and what to accept from the universe. And if we perfectly lead a life 24/7 according to the Rudram and Chamakam, then we have led a perfect life. And then at the end, we'll be rewarded with the realization that I am God, I am Rudra. Eka Chame, that means I am the one. So here is the Medha Suktam, is basically asking for great memory power, great retention power, and great shining power, because any memory or any retention of memory is useless if you do not teach it to others. So that is a shining power in the last para. Mai Medha, Mai Prajam, Indriyam Dadhatu, Mai Medha, Mai Prajam, Agnis Tejo Dadhatu, and Mai Medha, Mai Pradam, Surya Bhraja Dadhatu. So let me shine like the Surya, let me be passionate like Agni, and let me be properly teaching like the Indra. And that is the final prayer to Medha Shakti. Now I will hand over the session to Thishan, because he is collecting the question and answers from people, and I'll be answering those questions whichever you put up in the chat box. Thishan, over to you. Sai Ram, Om Sai Ram.
My humble pranams at the lotus feet of my beloved Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Om Sam, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the webinar, and thank you so much, Sri Maunish, for an amazing, enlightening session on Medha Suktam. I hope everybody's learned a lot about the Medha Suktam, the inner meaning, understanding the various Sandhi rules, the guiding force behind each of these mantras, and the way it should be recited accurately so that the power and potency of these mantras are preserved. So just a reminder before we go into the question and answer session, if there are any questions that you would like to be asked to Sri Maunish, please feel free to pop them into the chat box at any time, and I'll ask that to Sri Maunish. So just a reminder, if you'd like to do that, please feel free to do it now. And as we go through the question and answer session, we can do that. Sri Maunish, thank you so much. I don't know if we can maybe stop the screen sharing. Okay, the chat box on Zoom, please feel free to pop in the questions there. All right, so I think the first question that's come through, Sri Maunish, is the Medha Suktam, such a powerful mantra, especially pertaining to our minds or intellects, and allowing us to create this ability or develop the ability of discrimination between right and wrong. And when is the best time to recite this mantra?
The best time to recite the Medha Suktam or any Veda mantra is for a beginner. You should have the same time and same place every day, because that is practice. It is like how to learn a violin or how to learn a flute or how to learn the harmonium. If you stick to the same time, the same place, then you will progress faster. If you change the time and place when you are a beginner, then you will progress slower. So what do you want for yourself? Ask yourself. If you want to progress faster, then same time, same place every day. And that time and place should be targeted in such a way that you should be able to do it every day. Don't start Medha Suktam today and then jump to Purusha Suktam tomorrow and then Sri Suktam day after tomorrow. Just select some Suktam which is small in the beginning and stick to it every day at the same time in the same place. And then when you feel you have mastered it, then get your chanting checked by a teacher, and after teacher says that it's okay, then go on to the next suktam. So many people who are working, they don't find time. So in that case, don't set a time and place which is inconvenient. Set a target which is doable. Means something digestible, and go accordingly. So it is individual. Yes, in the olden days, we used to have the rule that we should chant in Brahma Muhurta and all that. But today, I know nobody, even my own teacher, he cannot do the Trikala Sandhya, the 3 Sandhyas every day. So nobody gets up at 4 a.m. every day to chant Vedam, including myself. So we have to, but I do chant every day in the morning after having a bath. So that is my personal practice and my personal answer. But in your case, if you are attending office maybe at 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. and you come back home at say 6 p.m., then you can set a target to have Medha Suktam practice at 7 p.m., but make it the same time every day, so that your consistency helps you in growth and progress. Others, you will not progress beyond the beginning stage. You'll remain in class 1 for the rest of your life. Whereas you are supposed to graduate and you're supposed to go to university and become a doctorate in this particular field, if you wish to. So the time and place and the consistency is depending upon your desire.
Sure. Okay, perfect. And I think that also quite lovely answers one of the other questions that's come through. So I think, thank you so much. We've got a message from Uncle Sunil from Mauritius about the webinar. And he also thanks for the interesting topic and all of that. So thank you so much, I think, from Uncle Sunil in Mauritius as well. So Uncle, in terms of the Medha Suktam, another question that's arisen is that the Medha Suktam speaks a lot about the intellect and about the mind, and liken it to Gayatri Mantra, where the Hyo Naf Prachodaya, to be able to illuminate our mind and stuff, being the one of the core principles of Gayatri Mantra. How different is it between the impact of the Medha Suktam versus the impact of the Gayatri Mantra? Should they be chanted together? And which one will be able to develop a bigger discrimination power in our minds?
The Medha Suktam gives you memories, and the memories are those which enable you to retain this body in an efficient way, to work in an efficient way, and to interact with people in a proper way. The Gayatri Mantra enables you to brighten those memories and divinize those memories. Means eliminate negative memories and highlight the positive memories. Focus on the positive memories. That is the Gayatri Mantra. Dhiyo yona prachodayat. The word prachodayat means, prachodana means to highlight the positive or to inspire the divine from within. I mean, you should get the thoughts of Shiva from within you, the thoughts of Swami from within you. That is Dhiyo yona prachodayat. But basically getting thoughts per se, any thought, negative or positive, is the portfolio of Medha Shakti. Medha Shakti gives you thoughts. Gayatri Shakti gives you divine thoughts, or divinizes your existing thoughts, which you already have. They are working together in general. Getting thoughts from Medha and brightening those thoughts from Gayatri.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Uncle. That was awesome. Is there any other questions that anyone would like us to ask? Please feel free to pop it in the group. There's a question that says, can you help with the pronunciation of the letter R as a consonant and as a vowel? Uncle, do you understand?
The consonant is in the series Ya, Ra, La, Va. So Ya, Ra, La, Va, they are called antasthaha, and they are semi-vowels. So Ya can become a vowel as well as a consonant. Then Ra is pronounced as R. In my class, everybody laughs, but I teach it in this way, that you imagine a motorcycle. Motorcycle is in first gear, it goes rrr. Then second gear, it goes rrr. Third gear is got rrr. Fourth gear rrr. So that rrr is a rishi sound, Ritu, Rigveda, and the ra sound pronounced as a vowel. Similarly, the la sound pronounced as a vowel becomes l, which is in Shruptanchame, Shruptischame, Matischame, Sumatischame. So that's a rare sound. And in its original sound, in my humble opinion, it is written in Tamil language, where there's a plural for mantras called mantrangal, and there is a yavargal. That L sound is a L pronounced without touching the teeth. That is the L of Kripta and Kripti. Similarly, the R without touching the roof of the mouth. Like R, you have to roll your tongue. It says R. So when you soften the R and go into fifth gear, it becomes R. And R, again, there are long and short. So R and R. Like we have Bhratra, which means brother. And we have Bhratran, which means brothers. So here you have a long and short, but in Lr, you don't have long and short. In the Lr, it's only short, as in Kripta and Kripti. And the entire dictionary, there are only two words, Kripta and Kripti. Both of them are in Chamakam. So that is the vowel form of Ra and vowel form of La. So in North India, they will say Ri, they will say Rishi, which is wrong. In South India, they will say Rushi, which is again wrong. It's neither Ri nor Ru, it is R, Rishi, Ritu, Rigveda. You say R, without rolling your R. It's quite easy if you attempt it. Just have to practice it, because we are all used to say it the wrong way, including myself, that sometimes I say Rushi instead of Rishi. So it's Rishi, Ritu, Rigveda.
Lovely explanation, Uncle. That was very, very informative with some practical examples, which I think makes it a lot clearer for all of us. So
not only internationally, but even in India, people in India who have been speaking the mother tongue and not English, they also pronounce that particular sound wrongly. They say Ri or Ru. They will not say R. And I'm talking about people who are teaching in schools, including Sanskrit teachers. They will pronounce it wrongly because they have not learnt it, the correct Vedic pronunciation. Only the Vedas have the absolutely perfect pronunciations, which we have been learning from our teachers, and we are lucky to learn the perfect pronunciations.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think having these sessions with yourself and all the various scholars have allowed us access to that great repositories of knowledge. So I think we're all very grateful for that as well, Uncle. So lovely explanation and great examples. I think the one other question that came through about the material that Uncle was projecting and explaining from, anyone that would like that that material, those PDFs, can email us at yaaveda@srisatyasai.org.
I will, whatever I have webcasted right now, I'll give it to you as soon as this session ends. I'll post it to you.
Perfect. That's perfect, Uncle. Thank you.
So you can have the word by word meanings of both the Medha and the Yash Chandasam Rishabho Vishwarupa, those sections.
Fantastic. So yeah. So once again, if anyone requires the thing, the PDF, Uncle will send it to me to us, and if you can email us at yaaveda@satyasai.org, we'll forward that to you.
I just read the question, which is relevant. How important is the speed at which we chant? Absolutely. So how important is for you to love someone? Whether you love Swami, whether you love your wife, whether you love your child, whether you love your husband, whether you love your wife, whether you love your friend. When you're speaking to a person who loves you very much and who in turn whom you love very much, how will you speak? Speak at that speed. So because God is the ultimate lover, and there's nobody who loves you as much as God. And if you are a side devotee, then God is the one which you love the most. But otherwise, you can speak as if you're speaking to a lover, with the same sweetness, with the same tone and the same speed. If you speak too fast, then the lover won't understand. I love you. If you speak too slow, then the lover will go to sleep. If you speak in a medium speed, that is a perfect speed. And it should appear medium to you. So don't worry about what the people are saying. You should be pleased with your own speech, and you should be pleased with your own tone. It should be a loving tone. It should be a very sweet tone in which we chant Veda.
Absolutely. And I think, Uncle, as well, to be chanted clearly and with conviction, paying attention to pronunciation, intonation.
I'll give an example right now. I'll give the first line. Om Ganana Antva Ganapati Gum Havamahe Kavin Kavinamupamashravastamam Jyeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspate Anashrinvannutibhistidasadanam. Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. Om Namaste Rudramanyava Utota Ishave Namaha. Namaste Astu Dhanvane Bahubhyamutate Namaha. Yata Ishush Shivatama Shivam Babhuvate Dhanuhu. Shivasharavya Vataya no Rudramridaya. Roughly this speed. Neither too fast nor too slow.
Perfect. I think also Swami gives a good example of that it should be chanted and recited as a cub is held in the teeth of the mother.
Yes.
So
Yes.
firmly but gently. Absolutely.
As just
So,
with the pressure that the tigress holds her cub in her teeth.
absolutely.
Not to hurt the cub, at the same time not to allow the cub to fall off.
Perfect. Uncle, I think one last question. I think we are running out of time. So one last question before we, I think, as
Go
we
ahead.
wrap up, is I think in a very short and simple way, what is the best short and sweet explanation you can give of Sandhi rules to those that are hearing and learning about Sandhi for the first time?
The question of Sandhi arises because of wrong scripting. The dot in the Devanagari scripting and the M dot in the Roman scripting. So that particular letter has got 6 or 7 sounds in the Taittiriya branch of the Veda. And it has got 5 sounds in the Rig Veda. So if you are a real Veda learner, then you should listen from the audio and mimic the audio as perfectly as possible and leave the scripting to those who want to follow the scripting. I would say forget the text. The text is a crutch. And you use the crutch only so long as you cannot walk by yourself. The moment you learn walking on your own 2 feet, then you drop the crutches. You don't carry the crutches with you to college and to office because you can walk on your own 2 feet. So unless and until your audio is memorized and perfected, you use the crutch which is called the scripting sheet or the script. And after that, you drop the script. So once you drop the script, then the question of Sandhi rules disappears. You say Gananantva because the teacher said Gananantva. Even though in the script it is written Gananamtva. There is a ma in the script. But in the audio, it's a Gananantva. Na. So if you faithfully adhere to the rule that mimic the voice, then the entire Sandhi rules imbroglio disappears. And otherwise, I have prepared a Sandhi rules document, which I'll share with you. For those who are very highly interested in grammar, because even Namaha becomes Nama or Namaha becomes Namo. When, how, that is in the Sandhi rules. And Me becomes Ma. When, how, again Sandhi rules. Like Tat Chanyora Vruni Mahe is Tat Sham Yoho Avruni Mahe. So Tat Sham becomes Tat Cham. Then Shanyo becomes Chamyo. So those are different Sandhi rules for different joinings. So the detailed document, I will give it to you as soon as this session is over. You can go through that.
Perfect. Right. Thank you so much, Uncle, for the beautiful explanations and for bringing all these amazing points to our mind, helping us to refine our Veda chanting and gain a deeper understanding of how we're chanting. So I think that brings an end to the question and answer session. If anyone has any other questions for Sri Maunish, you can also email them to us at...
One thing which I need to communicate is the Gayatri Mantra helps you to construct your own universe. There is a story which even Sathya Sai Baba has confirmed as true, that Vishwamitra Rishi created a duplicate universe. Of course, he did not say, he was in... Dr. John Hislop asked Baba that this Vishwamitra Rishi created a duplicate universe. Baba said yes. And then the universe did not last because Vishwamitra Rishi's tapasya or tapophala or the amount of energy he had generated to create the universe was limited. The point is he generated that energy with the Gayatri Mantra. If you chant the Gayatri Mantra sincerely and lovingly, you are creating your own universe around you. In the initial stages, it becomes a Gayatri Kavacha or a armor. It's like a force field in Star Wars. It's an invisible armor around you. That's the kavacha, Gayatri kavacha. And then as you progress in your chanting, it becomes your own mini universe. You create your own small home in which you are living. And then ultimately you will become a spaceship, just like Star Wars. And the spaceship is protected by that armor, which is called Gayatri Kavacha. And ultimately, Vishwamitra Rishi made a universe, not only a spaceship, but the entire planets and stars and everything. He did it so that he could appoint his Bhakta Trishanku as the Indra in that universe, because the existing universe, Indra, was not about to be defeated by this fellow called Vishwamitra Rishi, which is why he sent a lady called Menaka to disturb his tapasya and ensure that he did not occupy the position of Indra. But Vishwamitra Rishi had gathered enough energy by the Gayatri mantra to create a duplicate universe. Now, I am saying that we can create at least our own spaceship, like Star Wars, with a force field around us, if not the universe. And if you are that inclined, then you go ahead, create a universe. I am not saying no. So Gayatri can help you create your own mini universe, your own mini spaceship with a force field around you at every stage. So go ahead, construct your own universe with your own positivity, with your own thoughts, with your own inclinations, whatever you want. The field is clear for you.
Absolutely. Wow, that's so amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that, Uncle.
And the opposite is also true. There's a secret which is not given in the Vedas, that by chanting the sounds in the reverse order, from say from right to left is the normal order, from left to right, if you go in the reverse order, then that will destroy the universe. That was called the Brahmastra in the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. So the Brahmastra, Narayanastra, Vaishnavastra, Pashupatastra were the Veda mantras chanted in reverse order. Of course, I can't teach in a webinar this particular thing. It is a destructive thing. But you have to learn the mantra, and it's the Gayatri mantra chanted in the reverse order. The last sound first and the first sound last. And there are swaras also. Just like your swaras in the normal Gayatri, even in the reverse Gayatri, there's swaras. That's called the Brahmastra, the weapon of Brahma, by which the entire universe can be annihilated. So what we can do is, if at all somebody teaches us, then we can annihilate our Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsara. We can annihilate the 6 enemies within us using the same reverse Gayatri. So Gayatri can be used to construct your universe, and it can be used to destroy the universe, or at least your own enemies within you, at the very level, at the very minimum level. So the importance of Gayatri can never be underestimated. It's very, very important. Even the Vedas themselves say, Gayatri Chandasam Mata. Gayatri is the mother of all the Chandas or the Vedas. So that was about the Gayatri. Okay. Any other questions?
Absolutely. No, I think that's all the time we have for this afternoon session. Thank you so much, Uncle. I think there is one question, but I think we'll have to address that another time. So I think once again, I'd like to thank you so much and hand over to Brother Sathya for the closing of the session. Thank you so much, Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you, everyone. Sai Ram. It was my pleasure and Swami's grace that we had this session. Thank you, everyone.
Brother Sathya, over to you.
Thank you very much, Maunish ji. I think it was definitely a really wonderful session. And I know Maunish ji is a man of great knowledge. And, we are trying to just compress all this knowledge in him in a very short, tight space or time. And so he has to run through this entire Medha Suktam with us in a very short time. I think what can do real justice is a long Veda workshop with him, perhaps, to extract all this knowledge out of him so that we can really gain full benefit out of this session with him. Anyway, as mentioned by Brother Thiessen, we are nearing the end of this very webinar. This is definitely a very, very inspiring session and very inspiring insights into this beautiful hymn of Medha Suktam. And I'm very, very sure our viewers have truly enjoyed and achieved motivation to learn this hymn if you have not already done so. I'm personally definitely glad to be here listening live to these insights of this Suktam. And
There is a joke. Sorry to interrupt you, but I forgot one joke about Medha Suktam. And this joke I tell all the ladies because they are very particular. If you pronounce Medha as Medha, then it means the fat one. And then you are asking Medha Devi Jushamanana Agat. So, oh, fattening one, make me fat. If you don't pronounce the Mahaprana, then you are making yourself fat by praying to Medha Devi, the fattening Devi, to make you fat. And the ladies immediately they wake up when they hear this. So be very careful. Don't say Medha, say Medha. The dha is very important in the Medha Suktam. Otherwise, you will end up becoming fat.
Definitely. So it's Medha and not Medha. So we don't want to get this Suktam wrong. So I apologize. I've done something wrong there. So on behalf of the Sri Sathya Sai International Sai Young Adults here, especially those who are involved directly in organizing this wonderful event, I wish to convey our heartfelt thanks to Sri Maunish Vyas for being with us in this wonderful program. Now, not also forgetting all our loving viewers who have submitted your questions, giving us all this opportunity to learn as well via the answers replied by Sri Maunish. I wish to thank you all so much too. And thank you, Swami, for giving us this wonderful platform and all these wonderful opportunities. A few announcements before we conclude with aarti. To keep up to date on the latest announcements and events, please follow us on Instagram at Sai Young Adults or visit our website www.satyasai.org. For more information or any questions you may have about the International Veda Subcommittee, please email at yaveda@satyasai.org. And finally, our next Veda webinar will be in June 2023, and more details will be released on our social media accounts. That's all we have for today. Once again, thank you very much, Sri Maunish ji, and thank you very much to all our viewers out there. Thank you and Jai Sai Ram.
Om Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Sathya Sai Hare Bhakta Jana Samrakshaka Bhakta Jana Samrakshaka Kalki Maheshwara Om Jai Jagadish Hare Shashivardhana Shri Vikara Sarva Prayapati Swami Sai Ram Prayapati Ashita Kalpana Gita Ashita Kalpana Gita Apapaya Om Jai Jagadish Hare Mata Pita Guru Deva Mariyantayanide Swami Mariyantayanide Naga Brahma Jagannatha समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोका सुखिनो